The coming week will provide a pretty clear answer as to whether a recession in U.S. corporate earnings is about to begin or whether 2 consecutive quarters of declines in earnings will be avoided. Many of the S&P 500 sectors are scheduled to report earnings next week, with 155 companies with a combined market capitalization of more than $9 trillion, or more than 35% of the index. Facebook and Amazon are among the heavyweights, along with more than a dozen Dow Jones Industrial Average companies such as United Technologies, Coca-Cola, Microsoft and ExxonMobil. Analysts expect earnings to fall year-over-year for the first time since 2016, according to the data. As of Thursday morning, companies reported a 1.7% drop in earnings. Rapidly cooling expectations for second quarter profit growth have stoked fears of a earnings recession. It now expects second quarter profit to rise 2.1%, down from a 6.5% increase forecast at the start of the year and 9.2% on October 1st. Analysts said some companies were able to maintain profits because of cost control, but investors would prefer to see profit growth from consumer power. According to the data, 77 companies in the Standard & Poor's 500 index have reported earnings, with 77.9% of them above expectations. That compares with 65% of companies that have beaten earnings expectations since 1994 and 76% in the past 4 quarters. The less rosy outlook also raises questions about the prospects for a return to growth. The negative to positive ratio is now 2.7, well above the 1.5 average over the past 4 quarters but roughly in line with the long-term average since 1997. While that number has been high over the past year, some argue that last year's corporate earnings were positively impacted by tax reform and that this year's levels cannot be sustained. But even if earnings next week showed the earnings season as more skewed toward earnings, the market is likely to remain intact. The last time markets wobbled was in 2016, when fears of a slowdown in the Chinese economy were part of the factor fueling the jitters, but they eventually recovered.